It is a brand new week, month and year. A whole new Speedway conversation to be had for the first time in 2026. Welcome back to 360 Speedway. Hello everyone, hope you're all rested and well. Wishing you a very happy new year. Welcome to 2026, season 2 of 360 Speedway already, where hope springs eternal ahead of a shiny new Speedway season. It suddenly feels a whole lot closer, doesn't it, when the calendar flips over to January. And 360 Speedway has flipped into season number 2, bringing you some more weekly discussion on all things Speedway. Then, before the 2-minute intro time allowance elapses, let's get ourselves up to date on episode number 1 of Series 2, introducing this week's lineup of Speedway. I haven't done this in a long time. Speedway Excellence. First up this week, one of our 360 Live team just before Christmas. Still awaiting the announcement on quite where he'll be riding this season. Let's ask him as we introduce back on 360 behind the mic. It's Lambo, Simon Lambert. Hey Simon, happy New Year.
Everybody. Happy New Year, how are you doing?
When are we going to find out where Simon Lambert's going to race in 2026, Simon?
Oh, don't know, mate. Soon.
Sometime soon.
Next couple of weeks, maybe.
Good, we'll hold you to that. Next up, definitely one of your faves on 360 Speedway. For the first time in too long, we welcome back behind the mic Mr. Common Sense himself. That's what he told me to say. Good evening, Nigel Crabtree.
Evening, Derek. Hey, everybody.
Mr. Common Sense now, did you like that?
Where did you get that one from?
I don't know. A Christmas cracker, I think. And completing this week's lineup, another one of the 360 Live team to round off the 2025 season. All-round good guy and inventor of the salad cream sandwich. Yum, yum. It's absolutely true. Welcome back, Stuart Robson.
Good evening, everybody.
How many salad cream sandwiches did you have for Christmas, Robbo?
Sorry?
How many salad cream sandwiches did you enjoy over Christmas?
Just funny enough, at work today I had salad cream. in my sandwich.
I told you it's true. Collectively, this week's Handlebar Heroes, usual disclaimer applies that all of the views and opinions expressed by us are those of us as individuals and bear no resemblance to any club, former or past, that we are or have been associated to. Right, let's go. If you're ready to begin, let's crack on. Let's put on the first graphic of the year, which is this one here. Here we go. I'm struggling tonight. Okay, to get it underway, we thought we would close the gap between where we left off in December, just before Christmas, and the news which is broken this evening. So as we record and have this conversation, this is Wednesday, the 7th of January. 2 hours ago, news broke from the postponed British Speedway or BSPL AGM. Not too much of a surprise, I don't think, but now we do know the shape, or the expected shape at least, of the Premiership and the Championship for the seasons ahead. Guys, I think just to wind back the clock a little bit, just before Christmas time, before we finished up for the season, 4 of the Premiership clubs, all but Ipswich, had begun to announce 1 or 2 riders, and that was a kind of a statement of intent, of course, that they were going to come to tapes. Ipswich until tonight hadn't made any announcement since Christmas Day, but they have posted tonight, just a couple of hours ago, to confirm or suggest that they expect and hope to bring some more news. I think by the end of the week is what they've suggested, but they must have given, whoever they are, presumably new club owners, must have given some commitment or some indication of intent to run this year. So, Nigel, I'm going to bring you in first of all. So we now know that as things currently stand, the Premiership in 2026 will be battled out by 5 clubs, although there is a statement that suggests that there's still an outside chance of a 6th club joining those 5, but minimally, Nigel, a Premiership quite possibly of 5 clubs in 26.
Yeah, I mean, no big surprises there really. I think everybody thought or presumed Ipswich would be running. No great surprise, I don't think. Nothing's changed really, has it? Everything still stays the same. I don't know. Is it right? I think they can only have one 8-point plus rider, can't they? All the clubs. So I don't know.
I think, Nigel, my understanding, and Simon, Stuart, if you know better, I think that one rider over 8 is only for the Championship. I don't think that's a Premiership restriction, as far as I'm aware.
All right.
I think that's Championship only.
All right. So Bellevue can yet sign Brady Kurtz as well, maybe, can they?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I thought it was only one. Right. Oh, so it's just the same as last year, really, then? Is it no different?
Just no Super 8.
Yeah. So neither here nor there, really, I suppose. But I don't know what to say.
It will be, though, Stuart, just to fill you in, it will be a blessed relief to all Ipswich fans, because, you know, I've been reading for quite a few weeks now that a growing frustration amongst the Ipswich support that the lack of information, the lack of, you know, the lack of any announcements about anything, even just some crumbs of encouragement. But to have the confirmation that the Witches are included in the 5 clubs, potentially 6, who are going to come to tapes in March, is a huge relief, Stuart Robson, to the Witches fans everywhere.
100%. Yeah, we've took a massive, big sigh of relief there. It's something, it's the not knowing that's the worst thing. Are they going to run? Are they not going to run? That's always the worst, the not knowing. So yeah, great news for them. Great news for Ipswich. Great news for Speedway in general. That they're still going to be running. And yeah, I don't know who the new club owners are or whoever's taking over, but hopefully whoever it is, they will run the club as well as it's been run in the past.
Yeah, and that, as the statement on the Witches Facebook page said earlier, hopefully some more information will become available in the public domain in the next few days. Sorry, Nigel, were you going to ask a question or make a comment about?
Do we think Crystal Louis, Richie Hawkins, in the manager, do we think they'll have anything to do with it? A little bit of input somewhere along the lines, do you reckon?
Personally speaking, it would make sense that they would have some input, but how involved, etc., one or both of those gents will be moving forward. I guess we've yet to.
Lambo will tell us in a minute. Yeah. Lambo will tell us; he'll know something.
Simon,
Go on, Lambo. I don't know anything, mate. I don't know. I would like to think that they'll still be involved for Chris to keep the family name going. To be fair,
yeah.
I'd like to think if he is involved that Jason Doyle might do a U-turn and be number 1. Who knows?
Simon, I was going to make the point to you, Simon, or ask you to comment on it. So all the other clubs have signed some riders. Kingsland, I feel 1 to 7 now. Leicester, I don't think, are too far off that. Up until tonight, Ipswich hadn't announced any riders, but we now know they've got a rising star allocation of, I can't remember who it is. Jason Edwards. Yeah, Jason Edwards will be the rising star. But to your point, Simon, some riders who we associate with Ipswich, if I'm correct, haven't been announced as part of any of the sides. So there must still be prospect of some familiar faces returning as a Witches riders in 26.
Oh yeah, you would think so. I mean, I don't mind a flutter here and there. I think there's got to be a 6th team because there just isn't going to be enough riders out there, because I can probably name 10 riders to fill 7 spots, and it'd be a shame that a lot of them are Brits. That's the worst bit. Like I say, whether Doyle comes back or not, who knows? It'd be great if he does. But if not, you've got Danny King, Adam Ellis, Tom Brennan. Charles Wright hasn't been named anywhere yet. Eric Riss. There's enough riders out there to fill 2 teams. So let's hope that they do get a 6th team, because a league with 5 teams in it isn't really a lot of cop, is it? They'd been better just doing 1 league. Yeah.
Tom Brennan, I don't think Tom's been announced by any other.
Not been announced anywhere. No. Yeah. Richard Lawson.
Yeah.
I know he's Paul, but I don't think he's got anywhere over here or Poland. So yeah,
Ipswich still have a good they'll have a good idea, won't they? That's why your Danny Kings and like haven't been mentioned, because
Of course.
they'll know they're going to Ipswich, don't they?
Yeah, riders and people around the rider will know. Of course they will. But, you know, there'll be a lot of speculation. But like I say, there's a lot of Brits there. Danny, Tom, Eric, Charles Wright, Richard Lawson's 4 Brits, you know.
It'll be criminal if some of them lads don't get a team place, won't it?
Yeah,
absolutely
100%.
Criminal. You know, British Speedway deserves everything it gets if they don't give them lads team places. If them lads aren't riding, you know, it's
like
criminal.
with the championship, obviously, one home, one away. It's just, is it really worth it? For somebody like me, I don't really make any money riding Speedway. It's a well-paid hobby when it's good. But I absolutely love the sport. It's as simple as that.
Why couldn't they have done 2 home, 2 away?
You tell me, because it used to be.
It used to be when there were about 15 clubs. It used to be.
Yeah, exactly. And then when there's like, you know, you riders like say Bomber and that are doubling up, he's getting like 2 seasons in one, isn't he? Maybe they should run like under a 7-point championship average thing and run that in with the not a national league, but like 2 2-pointers or something to make the fixtures up, because fans want. The admission prices need reducing, I believe, and the fans want to be at Speedway every Friday. If you're Friday night, like, you know, Plymouth are Saturday nights, Poole are Wednesday nights, Scunny are Friday nights, Berwick are Saturdays. Every week they need a match, or at least every other week.
Yeah.
Not one in every 3 or 4. No. You know, I think one year Berwick had the 6 weeks holidays and they had one home meeting in 9 weeks. So that's just, you know, no good, is it?
No.
Yeah, so even in the Premiership, you know, with 5 clubs, two home and 2 away, still only works out at 16 meetings, 16 league meetings over a season, 8 home, 8 away. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. I've had a little look just half an hour or so ago, and of the there's 18 Premiership riders who have currently been announced, bang up to date, up until tonight. 18 riders announced. 12 of them will double up in the championships. That's 2/3, 66% of those riders will be doubling up and doubling down as things currently stand. Rob, just to bring you back in, one thing that we do now know that we didn't know or weren't very sure of before Christmas anyway, is that in the 2026 Premiership there are going to be at least 4 or 3 I think, current SGP riders. So, you know, so Max Frick, Jack Holder, Dan Bewley have been confirmed. Jan Quetch isn't in the SGP this season, but he was last year. So there's still a bit of quality in terms of world championship level riders, Robbo, which I know some supporters can take or leave them, but in terms of being able to sell the sport potentially, presumably it's no bad thing to have that quality of riders still involved.
Definitely. I mean, it's great to see the guys that they're coming back. You know, they've made the, you know, Jack and Dan they've made their names over here, and they're sticking with it. So fair play to them. It's really good that they're doing it again. What can you say to that? I know you would understand totally if they didn't come back here, but fair play to them. You know, they're sticking with British Speedway, and hopefully they're going to help push it along a bit and try and regain a bit of its old popularity.
I found a couple of quotes just to share. We touched on this a few minutes ago. So in the press release from the BSPL, it does include the statement that attempts are still being made to include a 6th team in the Premiership. So we'll need to keep an eye on that, as to who that might be. And just to confirm that Ipswich Speedway have published a statement tonight which reads, "We hope to provide an official update of our own by the end of the week regarding the sale of the club. We understand supporters have all been waiting for information over the last few weeks, and we will bring news as soon as we have it." So hopefully some meat on the bones for you Witches fans out there.
Who do we reckon is the 6th club then? Where's that one coming from?
I haven't a clue. I
man.
personally haven't got a clue. I mean, there was talk about Northampton. I've heard Brayfield been mentioned. Could it be Mildenhall? Could it be Peterborough? Who knows?
Yeah, it won't be Peterborough, will it?
I wouldn't have thought so.
They're
I
not
wouldn't
even
have
allowed
thought
in the
so.
National League, are they? Because of the fence, they reckon. So it won't be
Yeah.
them. Maybe it'd be Oxford. Who knows? Like I say,
Yeah.
Charles Wright, Eric Riss hasn't been given anywhere. You got to think. Last year there were 7 teams. Not being rude, the likes of Zagar and Muesliak are kind of done over here, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So that kind of eliminates them. Paco's got a job somewhere. So it's like there's enough riders out there. You don't perhaps need your Magics and your Tungates and that, do you? Like, you know, they had a team last year. They brought Gus over and that. It was a very weak team on paper, wasn't it? 3.5 points under, but I would imagine it was probably very expensive. It'd be better just putting 7 young Brits in there, 7 Brits. But then obviously it's finances, isn't it? They're all about the kids, and that was the next thing I was going to mention. There's only 5 teams committed to the National League, isn't there?
Yes.
Well, how are the kids ever meant to, not kids, but you know, that's what we call them. How are the kids ever meant to progress in that if there's only 5 teams again?
Who's the 5 teams, Simon? I thought there was more than that.
Mate, I don't know. I've only read what everyone else has read, but I know Buxton have committed, and they even said about potentially running 2, you know. Everybody laughed at me when I said on here about put them in the Championship or the top league. They're obviously spending some coin, and they've got a good team behind them that want to make the project work and feasible, viable, whatever. You know, and they've got the right people around them. So
just good it's coming back, isn't it?
Exactly. Not many clubs have reopened, are they? But they have. So, again, I don't know who they are. I honestly don't know. But I would imagine Edinburgh do. They often do. I don't know what Sheffield Scunny are doing. I don't know. Leicester are normally pretty good with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame Mildenhall and the Isle of Wight can't join, because I remember when I did National League, there was like 10 teams. You know, we had home and away. I had more meetings in the National League when I was 15, 16 than what I get now in the Championship.
Is Mildenhall not coming back in?
I don't think they're allowed in because the fence is deemed unsafe, but
right.
I rode there at the end of the season and for Peterborough in a challenge match, and it was, well, I didn't have the fence, so it was all right. Didn't have the fence, it was all right, but it's the, you know, I wouldn't, if it wasn't safe, I wouldn't have got on the track, simple as that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's more to life than Speedway.
The statement, Nigel, in the press release said that the 5 teams have so far confirmed entries for the 2026 National Development League, with the potential for up to 3 more teams to join them, but they haven't identified any of the teams. Just picking up another couple of bits and pieces, there's been a change to the membership or the construct of the BSPL Board of Directors. So Mark Lemon and Rob Lyon have now stepped in to join the board, and they will join existing board members Rod Godfrey as chairman, Damien Bates vice chairman, and John Campbell, with Alec Harkis retaining his role as president of the BSPL.
Rob Lyon will be a good move, won't it?
Yeah.
Rob Lyon will be a very good move, I would have thought, wouldn't it?
I think Lemo as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Listen, this is only episode 1, of course, of the season. It's only week one of the season, literally. So it just feels a little bit premature to start picking over the runners and riders in all of the Premiership and Championship teams, and have a bit of a deep dive on how we think that they will go in the season ahead. But we absolutely will do that before the season starts. So hopefully, now that the AGM is behind us, some of the gaps in teams will begin to fill up quite quickly. A nice concept. Go on, Nigel.
Derek, I'll go for Poole and Glasgow in the whatever league it's called.
The Championship final again. And another race off for the title. Quite a nice concept, I thought. The Premiership have retained the Rising Star concept. And now the statement says, Nigel and Stuart and Simon, the statement says that the Premierships were allowed to pick their rising stars in reverse order to the league positions, which would suggest that bottom of the league got the first pick of the Rising Stars. I'm not quite sure how believable that is, but in any case, the Rising Stars have been confirmed as follows. So Bellevue have selected William Cairns, Ipswich Jason Edwards, Kings Lynn Jody Scott, Leicester Dan Gilks, and Sheffield will use Luke Killeen as their Rising Star to start this 2026 season. Let's have a quick look. We won't dive into the full lineup. So let's just touch on some of the Premiership clubs as they're beginning to shape up. So Leicester, let's start with them. Beginning to look very much like the Lions will track a sort of tried and tested even lineup. It looks like Ryan Douglas is going to be their number one at this season. Sam Masters is back there as the skipper. Dan Thompson has rejoined the Lions, and he's a much different prospect, Nigel, in 26 than he was the last time he would have ridden for Leicester.
It's a strange one. How come Max Frick's gone from Leicester then? That seems a bit of a strange one, doesn't it?
Numbers, it's like 10.5 point average, isn't he? So
yeah.
I think I know 2 of the other Leicester riders, and they'll be good scoops as well. Be very solid team, that.
Right, okay.
And they always are a solid side, Leicester. But yeah, and that formula has taken them pretty close to lifting that league title in the last couple of seasons. But I suppose if with the best will in the world and the most respect intended, Ryan Douglas isn't quite Max Frick, so that the Lions will have to compensate for that within their riding order, middle order, or reserve. Simon, I guess I'm not asking you to name names before Leicester do, but do you think that the team that you think will take to track ticks those boxes? Will it be a more solid crowd than it was last year?
I think it'd be on par, mate. To be fair, I think Dougie was a bit under the cloth last year. To be fair, because not being rude in what you just said, but like he's perhaps not a Max Frick. No, he's not a Max Frick. He's not a Grand Prix rider yet, but he was riding. He had a very solid season, but I had 4 years at Scunny where I had 4 very good years, but they had decent number ones, and you kind of get misinterpreted as such. You kind of get forgotten about, when you've got a rider like Max Frick, he's scoring all the points, winning all the races. He goes and wins Heat 15 for your team, and Dougie gets a third. Max is the hero, not so much Dougie. So I think Dougie was under the scope a bit, and I think this year will be his year where he really shines, to be fair. So I think Leicester, like I say, without naming names, they've got a pretty solid team, yeah.
No, that's a good point, Simon. And when you are the number one and you've got that mantle.
If you took Bomber out of Glasgow, Kyle Howarth would be the hero last year, or Dan Thompson. Dan Thompson was again under the radar because you had 3 solid heat leaders, but because Bomber's number one and Bomber's bomber, and he comes from the back 9 times out of 10. Look at Dan Thompson. He kind of got forgotten about. He put 1.5 on his average, and do you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. That's how people see it.
Yes, no, good point, well made. Robbo, I'll bring you in to touch on Sheffield. So Sheffield fans must be delighted to hear that world number 5 Jack Holder will be back at Owlerton in the coming season, and joined by Anders Rowe, Leon Flint and Luke Killeen are the other Sheffield riders who have been announced thus far, Robbo. To have Jack Holder leading your side again is a feather in the cap for Tigers.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said before, just it's great to see Jack back. He's come on so much over the years, and it's like I said, it's really good that he's sticking with British Speedway. Potential world champion Jack, and got as much chances of any of the other top guys there because he is right up there, and he does win Grand Prix. So it's great to see riders like that here. And backed up with Anders, Leon and Luke. Yeah, there's obviously a couple of riders still to name. But yeah, good start to their team, isn't it? Nice to see Flinty in there. And Anders and Luke, really. So like three British lads. It's good. I don't know who the other guys are, but we'll see. Maybe there's 1 or 2 more English guys there.
Yeah.
Will it be Ty and Chris Holder?
Could be.
I mean, I would have thought George Pickering might feature again. He's
Of course, forgot about John.
Yeah. Leon Flint, if you happen to be watching, I hope you're enjoying your world tour, Leon. He's currently, I think, in Australia, and he's soon to be heading to the States. So look after yourself, Leon. Have some fun. Nigel, I'm going to bring you in to talk about Bellevue. So of all the Premiership clubs, Ipswich have got very good reasons for not naming any riders, but currently Bellevue have only announced, I say only, Dan Bewley and today William Cairns as the rising star. So it's quite Aces fans. I'm sure Aces fans must be a bit anxious, Nigel, to know who's going to be backing up Dan Bewley this season.
Like Ipswich, like them all, Bellevue will have the basis of the team already sorted out, won't they?
Yeah.
They haven't announced it yet, because I dare say they can't announce it till after today, can they? All the names will suddenly start popping up, and Bellevue will have a right team, won't they? Full of Australians, I would think. There won't be many Englishmen in it. Oh, dear me. Oof, that wasn't nice, was it? But never mind. No, hey, it should be English lads in it. Should be. We'll see. He's got Dan in.
Mark Lemon might just catch you out, Nigel. You never know.
I 100% hope he does. 100% hope he does.
Well, there's 2 English guys there already, so it's a good start.
And one of them has to be there, Robbo.
Yeah, 2 English guys there already, so Will and Dan, well, it's a good start for them.
That's true, Rob. That's a good point. And the final side who we can talk most about, because they've got a full side just about, in fact they have got a full side now, are Kings Lynn. So they have signed, as you mentioned earlier, Max Frick from Leicester. Jan Kvich is back with the Stars again. He's got the benefit of a season or 2 under his belt now in Britain. Bomber's back there, Ben Cook's there, Cooper Russian is there. Who else have we got? Jody Scott and Paco Castagna. That's their full side. Simon, you've got some connections. You've spent some time with Kings Lynn. What do you think of the Stars side for 26?
Well, obviously I learned this tonight. Obviously with Cooper signing, I thought he was going to be rising star, but then obviously we've read tonight that Jody's going to be rising star. So fair play to Cooper, to be fair, and for Kings Lynn for giving him a chance, because obviously he's going in at number 6, not number 7, so he's really going to be in at the deep end. But fair play to him for grabbing the bull by the horns. And the last rider to do this was like Lewis Bridger many years ago. That'd be like 2006 or 7 probably. That'll be for Eastbourne.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
So yeah, fair play to him. I hope it works out for him. Paco is a bit hit or miss, and obviously you don't know what you're going to get at reserve. So, but they've got a very, very solid top 4, to be fair, in Max. I think Ben will have a much better year this year. And obviously Bomber didn't have the best of times there last year, but Bomber's Bomber, isn't he? And Kvek's getting better year by year, and his GP experience. So, yeah, solid team. But again, like we always say, until we know everyone else's teams, it's tough, and we don't race on paper.
Absolutely not. Witches fans, bear with us. We now know, or you now know, that Jason Edwards will be back as your rising star, and hopefully, as the Witches themselves have said on their social media tonight, hopefully before too much longer, we'll begin to identify and announce some more riders for the Witches this season. And as Simon has already suggested, there might be some familiar faces yet to make a quick return to Vauxhall. Let's watch this space. Just one final thing, just to tidy it up. Premiership are going with 2 home, 2 away, and a knockout cup. And there was a suggestion that there might yet be another tournament to be introduced. There is the prospect of a 6th club. If a 6th club does join the Premiership, then the top 4 finishing clubs will compete. Will contest the playoffs, as was the case last year. If the Premiership does only run with 5 clubs, then only the top 3 clubs will be involved in the playoffs. Presumably, although it's not been confirmed, I don't think, presumably top of the league will go direct to the final, and 2nd and 3rd will race off for the right to join them. Anyway,
he did say that, Eric. He did say that. Yeah, I read that.
Cool.
I did read that.
Cool. So listen, we will, as I say, as the teams begin to get filled up in the Premiership and the Championship, we will absolutely return to it. We will run the rule over all of the sides, So if we haven't mentioned your sides, particularly the championship clubs tonight, then please bear with us, and we will do that in the coming weeks. Make sure you watch Fans Pulse Lap 2, which is part 2 of episode number 1, which will auto start shortly. No need to do anything, as we will be speaking to the most in-demand 15-year-old in World Speedway, Cooper Russian.